is in with him at the moment. So last one going in. Looks like we're just about ready. They're off. Maso Bastie got away very nicely indeed for this Racing TV Profits return to Racing Restricted Novice Stakes. Going to the moon, and City Cyclone now getting to the front. Maso Bastie's in third position, being reined back. He's got Tempered Soul on the inside, who's a bit keen early on. Then comes Artisan, also keen in the black and orange. Call Everyone You Know. Moving into fifth position at the back of the field is the newcomer Thorg, who's about 6 lengths behind them. So well grouped, and leading is City Cyclone, half a length to Going to the Moon in second place. The maroon and yellow hoop jacket of Tempered Soul, William Buick, sits in third position. Maso Bastie, the Linkfield winner, comes next in the yellow sleeves and cap with the red sash. Then comes Call Everyone You Know on the inside of the blue with the light green epaulets, Artisan, and the back marker is Thorpe, but well in touch as they continue down the far side. City Cyclone, Richard Kincoat has the lead from Going to the Moon, who's a little bit wider, the black sleeves of the yellow stars. On the inside is Tempered Soul and William Buick, followed by Maso Bastie, Daniel Muscutt as they race around the bend. Then comes Call Everyone You Know. Artisan just showing a bit of greenness around that turn and also losing its position, being passed by Thorg now and Andret Seni. So making their turn for home inside the final 5 furlongs. City Cyclone leading with Going to the Moon about half a length down in second place. Then comes Tempered Soul. Maso Bastie comes next. Right up against the rail is Call Everyone You Know, and Thorg, and being virtually pulled up is Artisan, who's completely tailed off as they make their way down to the final 3 furlongs. City Cyclone with Going to the Moon up sides. Tempered Soul in behind in a bit of a pocket with Maso Bastie on that one's outside as they now head to the final 2.5 furlongs. City Cyclone with Going to the Moon. Tempered Soul going well but needs a gap to appear. Maso Bastie followed by Thorg, and then comes Call Everyone You Know. Still in front City Cyclone, but Maso Bastie coming through a bit short of room there was Going to the Moon, and right up against the rail is Tempered Soul, who's got a couple of lengths to find, and Maso Bastie has got to the front now, going on from City Cyclone, but here comes Tempered Soul now beginning to find stride as they head down to the final half furlong. Maso Bastie being taken on by Tempered Soul. Maso Bastie is trying to rally and is doing so now, and Maso Bastie gets back on top close home and I think just about gets there to beat Tempered Soul. They finish clear as City Cyclone and Going to the Moon.
Second race.
Bastie's first past the post for James Fanshawe and Danny Muscutt beats Tempered Soul for George Boyd and William Buick, and City Cyclone back in third for Daniel Kubler and Richard Kingscote. Stuart will have a long look at this. Ultimately a messy race.
There was a mess, and William Buick got himself boxed in, and Danny Muscutt was trying to keep him in most of the way up the straight, and he did so, but then his horse was wandering and may just have interfered with Tempered Soul. Maso Bastie will see better from this head on. I think it will be a shame if the winner gets thrown out, because the second horse had every chance. Indeed, he got to the front, didn't he? But Maso Bastie was just dossing in front. He's a very talented horse, isn't he? But it's just he's got to put everything toward in the right direction, and still not doing that. I think he's
on by a head.
Fine from that.
Yeah,
those
I don't think they'll turn this.
No, he jumped well, the winner.
He jumped very well,
just
nearly too well.
back.
Yeah,
he didn't want to be in front.
Artisan was pulled up fairly sharply. I hope he's
all right, because he didn't go well at all, did he?
No, he's not really happy.
But it was City Cyclone who led at not a great pace after being a little bit slowly away after the removal of the blindfold. It did get to the front, City Cyclone, from Going to the Moon, who moved quite threateningly on the home turn but petered out. James Fanshawe, he's wearing a relieved look, I think.
Do we squash anyone now or not?
You think
he'll be all right?
Yeah.
Looks like he makes you work for your cause.
He does. He's got plenty of talent, but he's quite quirky, but he battled really well today.
We'll let you speak to Danny. We might catch up with you in a minute. That's James Fanshawe going to welcome his winner in.
I think he summed it up well, really, didn't he? He's a quirky horse, and the quirks will get... They're certainly better than they were when he refused to go in the stalls at Lingfield, but they're still there, and as a work in progress, it's taking quite a lot of thinking about to try and get him moving in the right direction. Here he's travelling really well behind the City Cyclone, fairly steady pace, Going to the Moon in the black sleeves on the outside, and this is where Tempered Soul is just on the rail, and the chances are he's going to get boxed in, and that's how it is, because Danny Muscutt makes sure Maso Bastie gets up alongside William Buick on Tempered Soul, and he holds him in. And Buick definitely wants to try and get out, but he can't.
But he does get out, gets the front, and the eventual winners beat him anyway.
Yeah, and it's a good performance with a £7 penalty to beat a horse who must have been doing some good things at home to be going off such a short price. Here, Buick's got nowhere to go, really. He knows that the two in front are likely to weaken, and he's got to wait for the gap.
And mentally, if he goes the right way, I think he's a smart horse, because even he looks like he'll still tighten for fitness-wise.
Very
as well.
much. He's a big horse, isn't he? He's probably he's a bit of a Jack the Lad. That's where it's more, I think, the weakening going to the moon who causes the interference to the eventual runner-up Tempered Soul. There was a bit of bumping there, but in the end, Tempered Soul gets going quite well enough, and Buick must have thought, well, I'm going to win now.
Yeah.
Muscutt seems to be all out, but Maso Bastie finds more when he's challenged, and he pulls it out of the fire in fairly determined style for a horse for a horse who's shows so many wayward tendencies. He certainly was good in the finish.
Here's the longer head on.
Yeah, you see
Danny Muscutt's just got away. We'll just grab a word with him as he passes. We're watching the head on. Well done. He's not straightforward. He's got talent.
No, he's not. We got the stalls right with him, and then in the race itself, he was broke well, and then consented to not really travel the whole way around. Came good for about 100 yards, and then went. And then hit the front and
pricks his ears
and stopped. And then when he got and challenged, and I actually put my stick down, and he rattled off again. Then
quite messy down towards the inside.
Yeah, it can happen here. He was always rolling around for me. He wasn't very helpful. His first run on turf, so hopefully learned a bit. But there's ability in there if he goes
the right way with racing. That's the question, right?
Yeah, we got the stalls right today, so that was probably one hurdle crossed anyway.
Well done.
Thank you.
Danny Muscutt, well done to him. They're winning on Maso Bastie, son of Churchill. There was a bit of argy-bargy, wasn't there, in the closing stages. Danny Muscutt was anxious to keep William Buick penned in, and he does a good job of that. And then when he angles to the outside, he just drifts in left, and there's a concertina effect. Going to the moon then hampers Tempered Soul, but he's forced towards the rail by the winner, Maso Bastie here. Maso Bastie switched out, and he just crosses, hampers Going to the Moon, who's weakening, and that has a concertina effect on Tempered Soul. Tempered Soul gets there, looks like he's going to win. To William Buick, and William Buick's body language was positive, but Maso Bastie's fought back, and he traded at 101 on the exchanges in running, only to very small money, but a fair bit of money from 105 down on the runner-up Tempered Soul. That's because he hit the front inside the final furlong, but he's worried out of it by that horse, Maso Bastie, who was perhaps idling in front a little bit, and then found more for Danny Muscutt late on. Maso Bastie 7-2, Tempered Soul 7-4 favourite. Head between them, the time was 2:19.58. Look at that, 13.88 outside standard. Kevin Stott felt the ground was possibly heavy, and that would suggest that it is. And the steward's inquiry now into that incident we've just